I'm not sure who this is for, but I know it's for someone who's struggling and going through a difficult moment now. I want you to know in life rain will fall, but God will cover you right in the midst of your storm.
It's raining now.
I know it's raining,
but don't keep your head down.
Lift up your head.
Things will work out.
It's going to work out.
Things will work out. They'll work out.
I promise you.
It's been a little rough.
I know it's been rough.
And you feel like giving up.
Don't you do it.
But things will work out.
It's gonna work out.
It will work out.
Let me sing about it. Many late night tears, struggling with all kinds of fears, wondering if God or anyone else cares. But Jesus is working on your behalf, and I guarantee it won't last. Things will work out.
It's raining now.
Oh, it's raining now.
Don't keep your head down.
Don't keep your head down.
Will work out.
Gonna work out. Yes, they will.
Will work out.
Oh.
It's been a little rough.
I know it's been rough.
Like giving up.
Don't give up.
Things will work.
Don't you do it, things will work out. Come on, Dave.
You may have had shattered dreams, promises unfulfilled. Asking God, is this really your will? But just hold to his hand and watch him reveal his plan. Oh, things will work out. Things will work out.
I believe
that things, yeah,
better.
things are gonna get better, y'all. Oh, for it's written, and I read it for myself in the Bible. There's for I very well believe that you are saved. Just trust and things will work out. Whatever you're facing, whatever you're going through, things will work out. Yeah, whatever it is, give it to him and things will work out. Yeah. Listen, Pastor Sam, I'm reminded of a Bible verse that my mama used to quote to me.
Oh, yeah.
And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose. And I want to stand with you today and let somebody know that things will work out. Things will work out, yes they will.
Work out, yes they will.
Things will work out.
Yes they will.
Yes they will. Somebody else to say things will
work out.
Oh, yes it will.
Whatever you're going through,
he's working it out for your good.
yes it will.
Things will work out.
No, it will.
No, it will.
Ooh,
Well, hello, everybody. I hope today you have received the favor of God. I hope you sense God's working behind the scene to do something amazing for you. I want to take a moment and just declare that before the week is out, God is going to show his hand. It's going to be strong and mighty on your life. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight for Bible study. I've been waiting on you all day. I've been waiting. She got off work, picked up the kids, ran home, relaxed a little while. Now it's time to receive the word of God. But I want you to engage starting now for this service and every service afterwards. I want to engage more with my cyber church and those of you who are connected through these social media platforms. What does that mean? That means I want you to send some hearts. I want you to hit the like button. I want you to comment. I want you to interact, even with other members, others of your brothers and sisters from around the world who are watching with you on tonight. It's going because we're building this cyber community, and I want us to have a bond that grows stronger and stronger each and every week. Well, we're getting ready to go into the Word of God. Get your paper, your pen out, get ready to receive what God has for you tonight. I'll see you in a little while. Now, in today's session, I want to talk about something that I think is quite significant and I think is very pertinent to each and every individual who's watching me right now, who will watch me whenever it is that you watch me. And it has to do with processing or dealing with the emotional backlash of failure. I can't tell you how many people, in fact, me, how many times I've become the victim of my inner critic. And I want you to understand that your inner critic absolutely intends to sabotage any semblance of success for your life. The inner critic is this little voice way down inside that tries to get you to consider the fact that you should be doubting yourself. Inside of your head, there always seems to be this little voice highlighting your flaws for the purpose of wiping out your confidence in yourself. Now, whenever failure ends up making you feel down about yourself, your inner critic begins to feed off that negativity and attacks you with even more destructive thought patterns in your head. You start thinking, I'm not worthy of success. I don't have what it takes. I'm not enough. All of these things you're saying to yourself causes you, hear me, to lose trust in your own abilities. Again, people have said things to me that's made me question my own worth, my own value, my own abilities. But there's nobody that I know who's ever made me question my own abilities than my own inner critic. Who do you think you are? What makes you think you can fill that position or hold that or occupy that space? Do you know what it is to have that internal critic talking and talking and talking, and you're spending all night trying to combat it, trying to ignore it, but it's not going away because the intent, the emotional backlash of failure is to get you to a place where you start doubting yourself, where you give more attention to your internal self-critic to the point that it wipes out and dismantles your confidence in your capacity and your capability. Its sole job is to tell you what you can't do and what you aren't good enough to do and where you aren't headed in life. And it eventually starts leaving you in a place of depression. Do you know what it is to be depressed because it just looks like everything you're doing is failing? No matter how you try to hype yourself up. Do you know what it is to have to be your own hype man? I know exactly what it feels like. I know what it feels like to be driving in a car and saying, you got this, you can do this. Tragically, I had nobody else to impose that into my heart and in my spirit. And so rather than just rolling over playing dead, saying it's a done deal. I've got to learn how to encourage myself. I have to speak to myself. You have to speak to yourself and tell yourself, you got this. Get yourself together. You got the skill, the talent, the anointing, the education. You got the goods. You better get yourself together and make it happen right now. And I'm talking to somebody now. You've got enough of what it takes to take whatever you want out of life, but you keep allowing yourself to be paralyzed by the fear of failure or the fear of repeating cycles that will end in failure again. Now, I want you to understand that fear of failure can be paralyzing. It's paralyzing because it doesn't allow you to act, and your mind thinks it's keeping you safe from potential failing, but what it also is doing is keeping you from potentially succeeding. Let me say that to you again. Whenever you become paralyzed by the fear of failure, just the thought of failing paralyzes most people, puts them in a place of neutrality. They're not moving, they're not going forward, they're not going backwards. Sometimes failure is just being in neutral because you're covering no ground, you're gaining no territory. And sometimes what your mind does is it'll shut down. It won't allow you to act on that idea or that thought or that impulse because it's thinking that it's keeping you safe from potential failure, but in actuality, it's keeping you from potentially succeeding. Because, ladies and gentlemen, whether you found out this or not, your mind hates change. It's already developed a comfortable mode of action concerning you, and it hates change. Your mind doesn't want to deviate from that or things, even if it knows that this is good for you. So if you've been living routinely convincing yourself that you're a failure, your mind will do every single thing it can to make that your reality. That's why you have to watch your confession that's coming out of your mouth, because your inner critic is the one doing the internal dialogue, which your mind is taking its cues from. And if you keep saying things like, I'm a failure, I'll never have this, I'll never be successful, I don't know why I'm entertaining that idea, your mind is going to do everything it can to make sure that becomes a reality in your life. That's why life and death is in the power of your mouth, of your tongue. You got to get up every single day and make some decrees about your life that I may have fallen, I may have experienced failure in the past. Just because I failed does not categorize me as a failure. I'm going to get up, I'm going to glean the knowledge and the wisdom that that glean from the failed experience, and I'm going to use it as fuel to make a better go of my next move. It's that simple. Failure is the opportunity to begin again more intelligently. The tragedy of failure is for you not to have learned anything from it and not to have taken that failure and repurpose it so that it produces significant, successful results in your life. Ladies and gentlemen, your every thought and word forms a blueprint that your mind and body work to make your reality. Again, that's why you have to take dominion over that inner critic. That inner critic is there to convince you of what you thought you knew anyway, that you're not worth it, that you have no value, that you're not good enough. It's always there to make sure that message is being massaged through your mind, your spirit, your hearing, and your mind. And you have to be careful, because if we give our failures too much credit, we memorialize them as predictors of future failures. In other words, if all you're doing is saying, I've been failing for years, I've never succeeded at this, I've never succeeded at that, never succeeded at that. If you keep saying that with your mouth is memorializing these as predictors of future failures. And what happens is, often we over-exaggerate our failures, right? Again, just because you failed here doesn't mean you're going to always fail. You have to decree in your mind that I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity to reconfigure some things. I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity so that I can structure my life, my approach, my behavior, my attitude, so that this time when I attempt to do it, success is inevitable. Let me tell you, your mind wants you to constantly relive certain failing moments of your life, but the reality of it is that doesn't serve you. Because while you're spending time reliving that and recycling those experiences and those thoughts in your mind, then it's prohibiting you from embracing something new, something different, another approach. Maybe I'll try it this way. Maybe I'll do it that way. Sometimes you can sit around worrying about the would haves and the could haves and the should haves, because they're going to rush through your mind. You're going to always be thinking about how things could have turned out differently. But the truth is, the time that you spend in this place of unnecessary replaying failures could be better spent, hear this, taking responsibility for your part in the failed effort. Now, most people don't want to hear that, because generally when we fail, we want to attribute that failure sometimes to other entities, other people. This didn't work because she didn't do her part, and this didn't work because my team got flaky and dismantled on me. And all of those things might be true, but the reality of it is, at the end of the day, you still have to survey the event and pull out the parts you were accountable for and take responsibility for what you did or did not do to contribute to that failure. Sometimes failure gives us the much needed opportunity of reflection and helps us identify key factors and key elements as to why we didn't hit our target, we didn't hit our goal, we didn't hit our mark. Because the truth of the matter is, if you're not careful, you'll spend all your time blaming everybody else for why you fail, that you'll never make the necessary adjustments you need to make in order to minimize failures in your future. I'm going to give you a moment. I'm going to let you digest that. Because the reality of the matter is, there are some things we could have done differently. There are some things that we know we should have done differently, but for some reason we ignored it. Maybe our ego, maybe our laziness, but whatever the issue was, identify that, take ownership of that, release the blame game, and say, from this moment on, I am going to be responsible for moving my life progressively. I'm going to be aggressive about being progressive, and I'm going to put my life in the best possible position so that I can experience supernatural success. Now, I need you to understand that failure isn't for the faint of heart, is what I'd like to call it. When you fail, here's the hard truth. It does hurt. When you fail first, I start thinking about all the time I put into this, all the sacrifice I made. I thought I was doing everything that I could possibly do to have some input and some control over the outcome. I thought I had this in the bag. And sometimes it's not an easy feat. I'm not saying it's going to be an easy feat to overcome failure, but still, you have to do it. It's a little difficult to trust again after your heart has been broken, after a failed relationship. Sometimes it's difficult to apply for another promotion or another position after you've been passed over the first time. I'm not saying it's easy, but you have to. Because if not, then you've allowed failure to determine your position in life. I don't even know who I'm talking to, but there's somebody that's watching me that has put their lives on hold because of a failure that occurred, and now you've lost the will. You've lost the will to try, to be. You've lost the will to become, because you've taken such a hit from failure that it won't even let you see yourself in a better future state. But I want to tell you this day that you still got more life left to live. The moment you put into perspective that a just man falls 7 times, you got to get back up again. Life is about falling down and getting up. I don't care what they tell you. Oh, every day you're going to be on cloud 9. Every day you're going to be winning. That is not the case. Life is about falling down and getting right back up. Yeah, there are some things that will knock the wind out of you that may take you a little longer to get up from, but at the end of the day, failure is not about falling. It's about refusing to get back up. And once you make the determination in your heart and your spirit that no matter how hard life comes at me, no matter how hard life knocks me down, I am going to get back up again. When we learn how to rebound, we learn how capable we really are. I'm gonna let that sink in for a moment. See, because you don't know how resilient you are until resilient is what you have to be. And there's no point in your life where you have to be more resilient than after a failure. Because for some people, failure is a signed permission slip that says you can be excused from life now. This didn't work. This didn't turn out like you wanted to go. Nobody's going to blame you from walking away. But I want to tell you, I want to look you in your face and tell you, you've come too far to walk away now. You're too invested to just throw it all away. Don't you allow life to make you sign the permission slip and say you're excused from living, you're excused from life. You have to keep pushing, keep moving. You don't learn until you learn how to rebound. You will not learn how capable you are. Sure, you're going to fall. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you, kids learn how to walk. Kids learn more about walking from falling than they did from walking. Think about it. When you were a kid, you fall, you had kids, you had grandkids, you'll watch them attempt to walk and fall. Attempt and walk and fall. Attempt and walk and fall. Out of my kids and grandkids, not one of them made the decision, you know what? I'm just going to crawl the rest of my life. Since I've fallen, I tried to walk once or twice and I fall. I get up, I fall again. Forget this walking. I'm going to just decide to crawl through life. No, you learn more sometimes from the fall than you are doing from the walk. And I want to tell you that you are going to have success in your life. No question about it. But the reality is that failure is a part of that equation. It's a part of the equation that most of us wish we could eliminate. Well, all of us wish we could eliminate. I wish I could have eliminated it. But it's not until you look back in retrospection and then realize that I had to fail then because I didn't have this right. I didn't have the right perspective about this. Failure is a necessary equation for not success, hear me, for sustained success. Not just, I succeeded at this. No, I want to be able to have sustained success in my life, but you're under false pretense if you think you're going to succeed and experience no failure in your life. Never let success go to your head and never let failure go to your heart. I'll rewind that and give it to you again. Never let success go to your head and never let failure go to your heart. I know you're going to have some successes in your life, but don't allow that to cause you to have an inflated ego. Don't allow that to make you talk down to people or treat people any differently because they're not necessarily on the level that you're on economically or whatever measuring marker that you're using. But never let failure get to your heart either. You got to process it and say, I failed. But I'm only a failure if I don't learn from this. If I don't go through the vestiges of this failure and pick out this and take this out and say, okay, I can do this better. I need to change this. I'm going to use this moment as education that's going to be responsible for my next elevation in my life. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe it was Abraham Lincoln who said that my greatest concern is not whether you have failed, but whether you are content with failure. That's my question to you. I don't have to ask you if you failed. I know you have. I don't have to see your plans or your resume. I don't have to know much of your history to know you have failed. The real question is, Are you content with the failure? Or are you going to use the failure you've experienced and say, I'm getting ready to give life all I have? I'm getting ready to go harder in this season than I've ever been in any other time of my life. My future depends on it. The future of my lineage, the future of my heritage depends on me not being content with failure. I'm going to take this failure and I'm going to allow it to be the fuel I need to get the kind of future and the kind of success that I know I am fully capable of. Let me tell you, you're more capable than you realize. Let me be the one to tell you on this day, you have more going for you than you even recognize. You are more than capable of acquiring, of achieving, of obtaining, of possessing a successful life. But it's all about putting failure in perspective, not allowing it to haunt you, to hover over you, not allowing it to define the rest of your life. A just man falls 7 times, but he rises again. Let me look at you and tell you to rise again. Doesn't matter how low you fall, and doesn't matter how hard you hit the concrete. Rise again. The life and future you want is just ahead of you. Well, I'm out of time for this session. I sure hope and pray that you have gleaned some nuggets of wisdom and insight, something that can use in a very practical and applicable way to your life. And I hope that your perception has already begun to change, because trust me, failure wants to leave in its aftermath some emotions that if you don't identify them and properly relegate them to their rightful place, it will mess up any future endeavor that you ever go after and that you ever attempt to do. But I want to tell you, nothing is impossible for you. You just have to believe that you got what it takes to get it done.
Beloved, this is our global giving experience, and boy, am I excited about it. When you're a child of God and you walk by faith, you not only get excited about receiving, but you get very excited about any opportunity God presents to you to be a giver and to sow. I tell people all the time, I don't make a living by what I get. I make a living by what I give. I create the life I want by being a giver. For it is more blessed to give than it is to receive. And as we're preparing today globally to honor the Lord in our giving with our substance, I want to challenge every one of you that are watching me today. I want you to prepare what we call here at our ministry our corporate seed offering. That's a $42 seed. And I want you to plant it in the ground by faith. It's a seed that expedites return. It's a seed of double. It's a seed of replenishment of all those things you lost, according to the 42nd chapter of Job. So I want all of you to covenant with me today. I want you to partner with me while you're watching this, or those who are watching the replay, or whenever you would watch this. I want you to release by faith a $42 seed offering today, and watch how God miraculously blesses you. Well, Bishop, if I don't have that $42, does that exclude me from the giving process? Absolutely not. Get that out of your head. It's for those that would hear, that can respond and obey that. But if you say, Pastor, I don't have that seed, but I have a seed that I want to put in the ground, I want to challenge you to get the very best seed that you have on this day. And I want you to present it unto the Lord, and you're going to see the blessings of heaven overwhelm you like never before. The giving means are right here at the bottom of the screen. Find one that's most convenient for you, and I want you to choose that one, and I want you to give it by faith. I want you to thank God in advance for the harvest that's coming your way. If you choose not to give electronically, there's a mailing address right at the bottom of your screen as well. Get a stamp, a money order, cashier's check. Put it in there. We're going to pray over it, receive it, and pronounce heaven's blessed over your life. You can't be God giving no matter how hard you try. Keep on giving. Heaven's ready to give unto you.
Family, didn't we enjoy the presence of God on today? I know service was just amazing. I know you felt the presence of the Lord right there, wherever you're watching us from. Right now, it's giving time, and we want to make sure that we sow into the man of God's life. He's been delivering a powerful word to uplift us and teach us and to encourage us, strengthen our faith. And now is your opportunity to participate in sowing a seed into the man of God's life. So easy to do. You can go to his personal cash app at $Henry W. Bolden 3. Yeah, that's right, $Henry W. Bolden 3. Or you can go to his personal website at henrybolden.com. Go ahead, sow a good seed into the man of God's life. God bless you.
Well, my brother, my sister, I hope that you have enjoyed the Lord on this day. I hope you have enjoyed receiving the word as much as I have enjoyed teaching and releasing this word to you. Let me say a thank you to all of you who spend your Wednesday with me. Thank you. Those of you who take part of your lunch break, those of you who take some of your break, and those of you who even pull over the car and watch this Bible study. I want you to know I am incredibly grateful for your support and your commitment to this ministry. Don't forget, if you have not, please make sure you are connecting with us on all of our social media platforms. Don't forget and make sure you go to all of my social media platforms at Henry Bolden, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and I want you to subscribe and I want you to like. Thank you so much for all of your comments on this day. Please know that I'm going to get to look at each and every one of them, and I'm going to respond to them. Those of you who have questions or any prayer requests, all of those things, I want you to send it to me. I want you to know that you and I are bonded together. We are connected. I love my cyber church family, and I pray for you on a daily basis. Well, I'm out of time for now, but as always, in part, and always remember that things can change for you at any moment. I'll see you next week.